Let's talk JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, so this episode is basically where the bizarre part of the series comes into play. So, immediately after going to figure out where Dio got the poison, Jojo shows up at home and confronts Dio, and Dio basically bullshits about how what he did was wrong, and he didn't want to do it again, and he knew that he would need to turn himself in, yada yada yada. And then bowler hat guy, whose name is apparently Robert Speedwagon, shows up and because he tagged along with our old pal Jojo, is hiding in the shadows the whole time and reveals himself at that exact moment and calls out Dio on all his bullshit. So, yeah, Dio is completely unable to defend himself, especially since not 5 seconds later, the pharmacist that sold Dio the poison is pulled out from behind the curtains and basically dropped in Dio's lap, and Speedwagon is like, this guy attested to the fact that you sold the poison. You're going to jail. And immediately as he says that, Jojo's dad walks in with a bunch of cops, and the cops all try to arrest Dio, but Dio uses this to an advantage by having Dio come in and asking Jojo to basically arrest him personally, which Jojo accepts. However, at this point, Dio pulls the stone mask out of his pocket, pulls a dagger out of his pocket, and tries to murder Jojo with the knife so that he can use his blood to power the mask and become a vampire. But unfortunately for Jojo, and very fortunately for Dio, Jojo's dad was killed instead, and the blood was from Jojo's dad was used to power the mask instead. And then Dio is blasted out the window, but he's not dead, because he is a vampire now. And Jojo and his dad share a heartfelt moment before he dies. And we also learn that Jojo's dad apparently saved Dio's dad from prison at one point, because Dario told everybody that he was given the ring by Jojo's dad, but Jojo's dad basically confirmed it because he did give him the ring, even though he knew how crooked a man that Dario Brando was, and then dies. And then the cops are all slaughtered by Dio, who is revealed to have survived all those gunshot wounds. And after realizing that they can't defeat him the traditional way, Jojo and Speedwagon basically burn the house down. And Speedwagon runs out of the house while Jojo faces off with him on the roof, trying to get the flames to burn brighter and hotter. And after a series of really awesome moments, Jojo finally impales Dio on the Guardian Angel statue in the main foyer, which basically causes Dio to be burned alive because he can't escape the flames and is destroyed, presumably. I will get into that in a second. And Jojo is flung free of the house. Don't know how that happened. He's injured and has some burns, but he's alive. And Speedwagon cries tears of joy because he realizes that Jojo won and Dio is no more, or at least presumably, because that's what everybody else thinks. But in the end credits, it's revealed, no, that's not actually what happened. This isn't in the end of the series, because at that moment, the shopkeeper who sold Dio the drugs tries to steal the stone mask for himself after looting the burnt building. He loots the burnt house, but it has his blood stolen by Dio, who did in fact survive the fire, and lashes out at that exact moment to kill him and sucks his blood through his hands. And that's really where the episode ends, because it implies that, yes, not even a roaring fire, and in a scene where we actually see Dio physically die, can kill him, but he also has the ability to regenerate himself with any blood that he finds. So he's going to be a very dangerous antagonist going forward. And there's also a really awesome moment where, despite the fact that Dio knocks Jojo off and into the fire, Jojo still manages to bounce back up and grab Dio and pull him in before impaling him. And it's a really cool scene. You should, and if you haven't seen this episode, you should definitely watch it for that scene alone. But yeah, this episode did really good at establishing the plot, even though it tricks you into thinking that that's the end of the series by playing the ending song without the "to be continued," and then in the post-credit scene showing the "to be continued" arrow. So yes, it's a very cheeky way of saying, yeah, the series is over, not, and it's funny. And this is why so many anime have referenced this. Even Cells at Work for a little bit. For like half an episode, Cells at Work referenced JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think you know which one I'm talking about, but yeah. It's a very funny type of anime, because it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's like it cuts dry with the whole, yeah, this can happen, but it's not going to make much sense out of context. So yeah, that's pretty much what the episode is. I like it. I liked it. It was good. It did everything that a good third episode of an anime should. Because if you aren't familiar with the 3-episode rule, it's essentially within the first 3 episodes you have to establish what happened. You have to establish who your main characters are, what their goal is, and what can only really be described as the oh shit moment, where they realize that the end goal isn't going to be as easy as anybody thought, which happens pretty much in the first 3 episodes. Jojo's family adopts Dio. Dio is trying to steal the wealth, and Jojo tries to stop him. And then the oh shit moment is when Dio transforms into a vampire using George Joestar's blood to turn himself into a vampire using the stone mask, which is where things get harder, because now Dio is pretty much invincible. So yeah, does everything a good first 3 episodes should do. I mean, some have done better with that with only 1 episode, and then there's some that have done worse with 4. But yeah, all in all, it's a pretty good way to establish the formula and all that. So yeah, I like this episode. It did a lot of things well. It fits with the whole theme and formula and all that. And overall, just a good episode. Go watch it. So yeah, if you guys have seen this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, hit that like and that subscribe button. Also be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!